And before I turn the mic over to our candidates, this is going to be my last little plug for Citizens for a Fair Ferndale. So please keep your eyes peeled. We will be having our call for nominations for our Good Neighbor Awards coming out soon, so please watch for that. And I just want to thank a few people and organizations for helping us with this candidate forum today. Ferndale Public Library, of course, is hosting us today. They've hosted our last few, and it's a wonderful venue. We're so happy to be able to use it. It's very user-friendly for us, and we thank you. I'd also like to thank Keith Dalton, who's recording this and will be submitting it to WFRN, and will also have it available online for folks to watch up until Election Day. I want to thank Marv Zalman, who moderated the earlier portion of the forum, Aaron Reddish, who submitted the cards and did some shuffling and editing for us on the cards. It's an invaluable contribution to these forums. I appreciate that, Aaron. And we also have Dick Wilcock, who's our timer and keeps us on schedule and reminds us when we should zip it, and so I will in just a second. I want to thank the candidates who participated today in the audience, both here in the building and folks who will be watching it up until Election Day. So thank you very much. Now, for our final portion, we're just going to go down the line and have each of the candidates who are present with us today give a 5-minute introduction of themselves, an outline of their position or vision or what have you for the library board. They can ultimately use their time however they see fit. So I'm just going to start to my right and move down.
Hello, my name is Monique Herzig, and I am on your ballot for a partial term election to the Ferndale Public Library's Board of Trustees. Thank you, Citizens for a Fair Ferndale, for an opportunity to address our constituents. I'm a library patron, a 12-year resident of Ferndale, wife, mother, employee, and business owner in Ferndale, and that's my investment in the community. Our children attend the Ferndale Public Schools, and we're very proud to be active citizens in this community. My background is in marketing, retail, and customer service, and I believe that all of those are components that we see successfully generated in our existing library, and I hope to be a partner in improving those services in the future. I believe the existing board has done a fabulous job of moving us from a city department to a public library entity, and I'm excited to see what direction Ferndale's library will take in the future with the expertise from the board and input from the public. My background is in marketing, and I believe we can work together to create creative partnerships with business and local entities to meet the challenges that most of us realize are budgetary moving forward. I'm excited about a couple of things that I might be able to help the board with. Our strategic plan has been accomplished with this beautiful building and the move away from a city department. And I see technology, strategic plan, and development as the next steps in a successful library. Thank you very much.
I'm John Sterrett. Thank you, C.F.F. I'm also a C.F.F. member, have been for some years now. I'm running for a full term on the library, a 6-year term. I've been on the library board for a few years now and got interested in serving on the library through the building committee when we went from the old building to the temporary quarters and back to this structure. And in the course of the last several years, I walked through the mud, the gunk, the unfinished, and finally the finished library to see what it's like. It's an exciting time. This library is not at all like what the library was physically or in terms of its service too. The other day when the staff came before us at a board meeting to talk about paid time off and days of such, Some staff members put together a phenomenal list of improvements since the millage passed May 2007. In terms of circulation, in terms of services, this library has seen a revolution like so many other public libraries have seen. It's an exciting time. We are offering services that libraries have not offered 10, 15, 20 years ago. We're going into a future that none of us really knows what it looks like in terms of library service. We are facing budgetary problems like everyone else. We are right now in a position where we are in a good budgetary position, but looking ahead, we're going to have to make further cuts if our income stays the same as it is. We are looking to raise funds through Friends of the Library and through other sources as well. It's an interesting time to be on the library. It's a phenomenal board. It is a phenomenal staff. They've stayed with us through very difficult times over the last few years. We really haven't lost anyone. And as far as the library board is concerned, like any board, it consists of many people who have served, are serving, and will serve on the library. I have found it a lot of fun. Even the bad days are good days. It's been good. We're looking to keep providing the services. We're looking to increase others. We're looking to appeal to the 20-somethings. We're looking to appeal to the teenagers. Those are two tough groups to appeal to. We're looking to appeal to people of all ages in Ferndale and people who do not live in Ferndale but use computers and use services here because they can't afford it. And the library is a stop-off spot for them. In fact, it's an important spot. And we hope to continue providing the services that we do. I think that says it.
And my name is Jim O'Donnell. I have been serving on the library board since I was appointed in January 2010. And really, I think I'm standing on sort of two sets of shoulders in the community. The first is all of the work that has been done with the library since it became independent in 2004, particularly the work of the staff and the past boards before me, and the Friends of the Library, and before that the campaign committee that got this building funded through the millage in 2007. So that's the first set. And the second set is really my extended family that sort of taught me what it means to be involved in public service in Ferndale, starting with my grandfather, Bill O'Donnell, who was on the city council from 1950 to 1970, I think. My uncle, Frank O'Donnell, who's in the back of the room there, who served on the school board and various community organizations and commissions, and then my aunt, Helen Weber, who's served on the Ferndale City Council. As was mentioned, we're really facing some interesting times. We have a huge responsibility, I think, in the next few months to kick off another round of strategic planning for the library. We had a strategic plan that was developed several years ago, which has largely been accomplished, in terms of improving services, extending the opening hours of the library, building a new facility. That's been done. The staff, as John and Monique have mentioned, is doing a phenomenal job really expanding library services, and that's the work that they do. The things that we're doing at the library in terms of, having music on Friday nights in the library, the sorts of programs that are done, the movies that were done over the summer and really throughout the year, bring in a lot of new people into the library, and I think it's critical that the board, in terms of its governance and planning role, does whatever we can to enable the staff to continue to do those services. But as everyone knows, with funding being reduced as significantly as it has, both through lower property values and through reductions in state aid, we're facing some decisions, which were addressed, I think, really well in the questions that Citizens for Fair Ferndale posed to us as candidates. And that is really, what does the community want the library to be? We have a good sense, I think, from the staff who sees the frequent users in here of, sort of what their expectations are, but we really need to reach out again, as we did a few years ago in that last round of planning, to find out what people who don't use the library so frequently need from the library. And I know that there are people in the community who maybe don't use the library for whatever reason, but are still big library supporters who want the library to be successful. So we want to make sure that we reach out to those people, and now that we have this beautiful new building and a stable staff, and who's doing a really excellent job at providing library services, what do the supporters of the library or non-users of the library want from us? And then we can put together a plan that tries to do that within the resources that we're able to bring in, both from tax revenue, of course, and through fundraising. And an important part of that is to continue to encourage our Friends organization. The Friends of the Ferndale Library, we have been told, is the oldest Friends group in the state of Michigan. And it's, fluctuated in terms of its activity, but for the last few years has been very active. We just had an event here last Saturday, a prom, an 80s themed prom for adults that was very successful, both in terms of raising money for teen programming and for, I think, renewing the Friends membership and making sure that we're touching base and doing fun things with membership in the Friends. So we'll continue to work closely with them and do what we can to keep this library as dynamic as it is already. So I think that's all for me.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, everyone who's been with us this